Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite non-toxic deodorant. I have been in search for years for a non-toxic deodorant from the store, and then I started trying to make them, and I think I have finally tweaked this recipe where I think it works the best, feels the best, and is very easy to use. So I'm going to show you how I make this. I just made this recipe, although the recording didn't work, so I'm going to show you. So I use a Pyrex container, or a measuring cup, a glass measuring cup, and I put in 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil. I prefer the virgin cold pressed. 3 tablespoons of this beeswax pellets. I really like buying them in the pellet format because they're much easier to melt and to use. And then this raw shea butter. If you look here, it's just very easy to buy this raw shea butter in this format. And I put it all into this measuring cup and put it into a pot of water like this. Fill this with water, stick this inside, and just let it melt by just stirring it every so often. And then once that is fully melted, I add in some more ingredients. So we add in a third cup of arrowroot powder, which you can buy at any local store or on Amazon, and baking soda. Now, when you use baking soda, what I have found is that it really helps with sweating, but I have noticed that my underarms are a little sensitive to it. So I have cut back my recipe to 1 tablespoon of baking soda, but for my husband, he prefers 2 tablespoons of baking soda. So for him, I keep the recipe as I used to make it. I do find that my underarms are a little bit more sensitive than his. So I'm willing to have a little bit more sweat for just a little less sensitivity. And then the key is the essential oils. So this essential oil really, I feel like, has to be in this recipe is Purification. So I use 6 drops of Purification. You can add more if you choose. And then I use 6 drops of lavender. And I feel the lavender is just great for the skin. And the Purification is your anti-stink. So this is really the key, is Purification, and then lavender, or if you want to add another essential oil, that's your choice. Really, it would be fine with just Purification. I just like to have something soothing to the skin, so I add lavender. So then I buy these deodorant containers on Amazon, and I just fill them up to the very top. And also I want to make sure that I really recommend you do not put them in the refrigerator to cool. They really do best when they just when they cool at room temperature. Otherwise, they get really, really hard in the fridge. So I don't suggest you put them in the fridge. This recipe makes about 2.5 of these containers. So you can also buy little travel-sized deodorant containers. And so I actually, because I was making so many this round, because I was making for my husband too, I ended up with, actually, if you saw in that glass container here, I have a little bit left. So this I would have put in a travel container, and I'm going to just rewarm it and stick it in there later. So that's a nice thing too, is you can rewarm that recipe, not at a really high temperature, because you don't want to mess up the essential oils, and then you can stick them in deodorant containers again. So you can use empties of your old deodorant. You can feel free to repurpose those, or these are really easy to find. So now you all have a recipe that I feel like works very well and is non-toxic and is soothing to the skin. So I hope you now all have wonderfully smelling underarms. Have a great day.